Yo, what's good, everyone? What's good? This your boy JTL, and I got my boy HD here once again.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about a couple of things that's real important. Um, I'm gonna let my partner go ahead and start first. So let me go ahead and move. We're gonna just get the serious stuff out the way. It's just some pictures for right now. When we get a little better, we're gonna have some videos for y'all. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about this piece of shit right here. HD, go ahead and go ahead, man. Talk about that piece of shit.
Yeah, we're speaking of Derek Chauvin. I'm sick and tired of even uttering his name, looking at his face, just him being in anyone's life. But his sentence came down, getting 22 and a half, not even near the max that could have been the 30 years or maybe even more. Um, I just think it's a real slap in the face to not just his family, but to black people, period. Whether you're a black man, whether you're a black woman, to anybody that's black. Um, we keep saying that we're getting somewhere. We keep saying that things are getting better. We keep saying that we're in 2021. There's a new day, new light, and all of that is a lie and it's bullshit. And this sentence just shows these white people, these pigs, these crackers. They keep putting a number on our life, and when you put a number on somebody's life, that degrades them, number one. This man shouldn't have even had an opportunity to have a sentence of 22 years or 30 years or whatever. He should be given life. Or, I don't know, if, maybe I should have did my research. I don't even know if Minnesota has the death penalty, but that he took a life. He took a life, an innocent life. So his life should be taken, whether it's that's him spending the rest of his life in jail or him being sentenced to death, period. This 22 years is not going to do anything for Mr. Floyd's daughter, his family, his friends, or just the people around the world. There's a lot of people around the world uh, of different races that took to this man, that really had a love for this man, and it's real messed up that we even found out about him due to this. But there were so many people around the world that got a connection due to this ugly, ignorant, unnecessary incident that took his life. And this sentencing just really shows what his life meant and just what we as black people mean, period. And it's just really, this should be um, one of the many awakenings that we as black people should be getting and should be thinking about when it comes to our life and when it comes to the life of our loved ones, even our kids, because a lot of us out there have young sons. I have a son right now. And just to think about that this could happen to me, myself, or God forbid, my son in the future, and there'll be nothing to show for it. Nothing. This man, then, and that his family is receiving money, and some people will say, "Oh, well, his family is getting millions and millions of dollars." That doesn't bring him back. The millions and millions of dollars does not bring him back, and those millions and millions of dollars is not a proper "I'm sorry." There should be no "I'm sorries," and if there is a "I'm sorry," this 22 years is basically them taking back those words of "I'm sorry" and just saying a big "fuck you." Not just to his family, but to all of us, to me, to my partner, to everybody. This sentencing is just a big middle finger, and it's just more and more evidence that our lives mean nothing. That's what how they look at our lives as nothing, as just meaningless, lifeless, nothing. And there should be more. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to follow this kind of thing, but there should be more and more and more people voicing out and saying something and doing something about this, because this is, to say that this isn't right is just, it's just kindergarten talk. There needs to be more action being taken, not just for people like him, but just the system. The system is all fucked up. It wasn't written for us. The laws and the Constitution, none of that shit was written for us. And we keep saying that, they're gonna change these laws and they're gonna change this and they're gonna change that. When are they gonna change it? 400 years from now? Are they gonna change it 100 years from now? These laws need to be rewritten and redone. The Constitution itself, which these white people will never touch, that needs to be rewritten and redone. All of this needs to be. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, we already know what it is in this country and how things go. Um, if you don't mind, I would like to segue into to the next topic, which I feel may coincide with this. Right? Let me ask you this question, then I'm gonna say why. Do you think us blacks in this country are spoiled black people? In your opinion, H?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I was thinking, man. I can't give you an answer in 5 seconds. Spoiled black people. It's
Well,
kind of
hold that,
hard.
hold that, hold that thought, and let me express why I say that. Okay. The reason why I asked that question and I say that is because I think we are. When you think about it, right? The more things get comfortable for us, the less, you know, we want to fight the system back. When it was dire straight, pre 60s and stuff like that, when, all the way to the times we can't vote, do this, do that, it was like dire straight measures, you know what I'm saying? And black people wanted to fight more. We wanted to be involved more. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to be educated more. We wanted to build more. And it's like, since all certain laws got passed, certain things we don't have to fight no more. It's like now you'll have someone saying, well, shit, at least we ain't got it as bad as they do people in other countries. So it seems like, we can complain, like, online. We can write blogs, websites. We can do all this. We can go buy a nice foreign car. We can go buy a nice condo, nice crib by the lake. You know what I'm saying? We can ball out. My thing is, why I say we spoiled is because of those things. I feel like that's why. Okay, so you have a piece of shit motherfucker like this, he get 22 years, while other cultures or people might be like, nah, that ain't enough. Hang his ass. You know what I'm saying? It's like, regardless how other communities and cultures and races of people around us are actually doing better than us, they still will fight harder than us. You seen with the Asian crime bill that got passed. You know what I'm saying? Within a time of what, a year? You know what I'm saying? Since the pandemic happened, you know what I'm saying? You got the hate crimes and discrimination that happens to all people. But then it really happens to the Asian community for 1 year, and then next thing you know, what happens? They get a crime bill passed, and we get another holiday. I mean, I don't know if you know, but I don't know. Does that mean that holiday, like Cat Williams say, weed is legal in our car that day? Do we get the day off with paid without having to take off? We just get off and we get paid for that day. Do we get to you know what I'm saying, like, shit, even being stupid, do we get to break the law that day or something? Like, what is supposed to be so special about that day? They get a crime bill, a hate crime bill. If something happened to them and you not the same race, it's federal. But you mean to tell me, with all we've been going through in this country, we still getting the short end of the stick? Everything from us being hijacked, from the Rainbow Coalition to uh, um, civil rights, like everything that we fight for get taken from us. But it seems like we still not fighting. The revolution been started. So that's why I feel like we're spoiled, is because we have all these things that happen around us, and then we don't really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like we like whatever. You know what I'm saying? We don't really do nothing. So my question to you: Do you agree or do you say nay?
Oh man, with us being spoiled, I do always hear people say, "Oh, we got it better here than people in other countries." But I mean, the definition of better, sometimes this is going to sound very boring to some people, but sometimes when we look at things, maybe we look at things in a different, or excuse me, in an incorrect way. Like, people think, because we live over here and we have drive Mercedes and we have Xbox or PlayStation 5 and we have a little, nice house or whatever, and some money in our pocket, that's the quote unquote dream life. And that other countries, other people who live in other places, like say Africa, which everyone thinks Africa is just a big jungle with sand and deserts and people with flies on their face. They get the misconception that if you go to other countries, that things are so much worse than how they have it over here. But if people were to venture off and actually go and visit these places, if they have the time and money to do that, maybe they'll get a different perspective of what quote unquote freedom or what happiness really is, as opposed to the people for us living here in America. Because there are some places where you you go in some countries and toting around guns and shit is like shameful, or you looked at a certain way, because in those places they don't need guns or they don't want guns because it's not just rapid violence and things like that. Or there's places where people may not have a Mercedes Benz, but they're always happy every day. They're always peaceful. They're always getting along. So when people say that, I don't know. I don't know about the whole if people are spoiled. I just think they have their way of thinking is misconstrued at times. And like I was saying, this case should really show you that shit ain't sweet, as we used to say. And people don't realize it until it comes knocking at your doorstep. It's great to have the PS5 and the Mercedes Benz, but what if your wife or husband gets pulled over and get killed on a Thursday and you weren't even expecting that? Then you're gonna look at it as shit ain't sweet, and do we really have it better than people in other countries? So I just think that people, you know, when they live in the safety of their four walls, they don't really sometimes think about quote unquote real life and the things that really can happen. Like this gentleman was just going to the corner store. You know, who he didn't think that morning that his life was gonna be taken by just him going to the corner store and having, any kind of little mishap over some money, you know. And that little thing, that little window, that can happen to anybody, that's black. That's what this boils down to. It can happen to anybody that's black, whether male or female. And we walk around with this false security feeling that we have when we really don't need to think that. Because at any day, at any time, that could be me, that could be you, that could be a brother, that could be a sister, a mother, father, auntie, uncle, that could be any of us if you're black. Now, white people, I feel like they can walk around with that security feeling, but we as blacks, no, we can't do that. And for the people that do, I feel really sorry for them because, like I said, they're just walking around thinking that shit is sweet and it's really not.
But that's my point. That's what I feel is that's the problem is we're spoiled and we think that hey, just turn off social media, turn off the news, just live your everyday life, you'll be all right. So I feel like that's why we don't do things that we should be doing. Fighting hard as we should. It's like when you have conversations with people and you bring up certain things, they look at you like, why you worry about all that? You don't need to be worried about all that. And it's like, well, I mean, when you look at some people's personal lives and then see how they raising their kids and what they going on in their personal lives, and how they kind of just shine away from everything, it's like, oh, okay, it makes sense. You don't even do shit in your personal life that will help your people or your community. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't even sweep around their own front door. So that's like I said. That's why I say it's just because we so spoiled nowadays and just being damn lazy. You know what I'm saying? We feel like we don't have to do nothing for our people. It's not that bad out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on it in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? Just being so spoiled. So that's, you know what I'm saying, like I was saying for my topic, you know what I'm saying, which intertwines with yours about this case, it's because nobody's gonna say, you know what, let me go ahead and see what's going on. Let me see if I can fight with that situation, or they'll see other situations that people probably could get involved with, and they still won't get involved with them. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what the issue is. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, so fuck that piece of shit. Um he probably gonna be in protective custody or something because he know them brothers in there get his ass too. So he most
And
likely
and
gonna be
and
in
also,
protective
just before
custody.
we switch up, in the article, I've actually read a few articles, which pains me to do. It's looking like homeboy's only going to serve actually 2/3 of that sentence anyway. So he's not even going to be serving the full 22 and a half years, which is an even further slap in the face to us as black people. But whatever.
All right, well, let's get to something a little more lighthearted. It's still heavy in a sense, but still kind of lighthearted. So, because it's gonna tie in for both of our next ones. So, my boy said he want to talk about cater to you and the situation that's going on with these heifers tripping. So, go ahead, H. Go ahead and talk about the cater to you debacle.
Yeah, basically, to make a long story short, this young lady, I don't know if she's a comedian or blogger, whatever, basically came out saying that the cater to you should be taken away. It should be revoked. It's a terrible song. It's setting women back, all that. And there was a lot going on the internet regarding that song, and I just looked at it and laughed because it's like just the premise of that a song like that, which there aren't a million songs like that really, and the song is very old, and we're going now to a time where women are wanting this thing to step out in front and step out in the limelight and step out on their own and saying they don't need a man and men ain't worth this and men ain't that, and that the premise of this song needs to be stricken away. And there's just some things about the song that, even with them saying that this song is too much, it just makes me scratch my head and just wonder where's the too much at. Because a lot of, I would just say basically the whole song is just a woman that's, even though it was good and I appreciated what they did at the time with the song, it's just basically like the bare minimum. If you really go back, look at the lyrics, read the lyrics, listen to it, it's the bare minimum. So these women are basically saying you shouldn't even want to do or care about the bare minimum for a man. And that to me, it's a very
Mm-hmm.
sick thing. It's a very sick thing, and it's very sad to be having this going out to younger ladies, because once again, there's always a generation that's after you and that's coming up after you, and there's going to be ears listening and there's going to be eyes watching, and for them to hear things like this, it's just painting a picture for women to turn their nose up at doing any type of thing to put their man in a certain light, or to just show their man appreciation, because that's what this song was about, to show a man appreciation. So it's like men don't deserve appreciation, men don't deserve to be crowned, men don't deserve to be told that they're good, men don't deserve to be told that they're worth something, men don't deserve to be told Hey, thank you for being a good man, for doing what you got to do, for looking after the kids, for looking after the house, for looking after me. A man is just looked upon as a dirty nigga, and that's that. He should he shouldn't get any appreciation. He shouldn't get any type of thank you. So that's what the song was. A thank you. Let me thank you. Let me show you that I appreciate all the hard work and dedication that you give to me. So a man doesn't deserve anything. A man just supposed to go to work, make the money, spend all of it on the woman, case closed. Be
Mm.
happy with that. Just be happy that I look good and I got this fake hair weave in my head and I got these elephant eyelashes on my face and I want to go get fake titties and a fake ass and I want to wear revealing clothes so that everywhere I go, I have a bunch of niggas staring at me and I can ha ha he he all up in their face and I want the newest Coach bag and I want a new car and you deal with it
Mm.
because I'm a woman and that's what I deserve to have.
You grimy bitch. Well, you know what? Another thing I think what happened. All right, so you remember when cater2u came out? You remember Beyonce used to actually do a lot of songs. She had this one big song, "Love on Top" or something like that. And then just within the last year and a half or so, remember that song? She had redid the Frankie Beverly and Maze song. Um, that was huge for her. Like a lot of people was bumping that. But you know what I think it is? Since so many women that was loving these songs and found out the only songs that they still can relate to these days is the independent woman. I mean, all my single ladies. If you think about it, a lot of these women that were bumping these songs are still single. And I think, oh, what's that noise in the background now? Turn the AC on heaven? Dang. So, anyways, but yeah, I think what happened was since so many women couldn't find no man or keep no man in the singing the cater2u versus all my single ladies, a lot of heifers out here hate the song now because they ain't got nothing, they can't relate to that. You know what I'm saying? And even when they do have that little piece of prosperity and happiness with a dude, they do something foul, something dumb and fuck it up, or they choose the wrong guy, he fuck it up, whatever, whatever. And then now they just mad at it. It's like having a cut and somebody just walking up and pouring salt in your cut, like pulling out the band-aid and putting salt in there, and you can't do nothing but watch them do it to you. I think that's why a lot of women are pissed off about it. But it's like you said, it's just about appreciation. You know what I'm saying? You appreciate your man for being there and doing stuff for you, but you know, women are so fucking bitter and they being taught, oh no, you need to go get your money, get this because some dude just gonna leave you alone. And I think it come from a lot of bitter mamas. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the days, they had a lot of love songs like that. So it's like how you get 50, 60 plus, and now you want to teach your daughters that men ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you ever take accountability for the stupid shit that you did, the dumb dudes that you picked that wasn't shit? How you blame that on everybody, man? So you mean to tell me you got a daughter right there? Let's say a woman got $2, two sons. So you gonna try to teach your sons to be some punk ass niggas or to hate their daddies, and then you teaching your daughters to hate their daddies and they hate their brothers at the same time. Like this is what women don't think about when they say all this shit about men. They not thinking about their brothers. Just like these always say, "Oh, you got a sister, you got a mama," but it's like, okay, so do you think about your brothers? Do you think about your father, your grandfather? Because I remember even women used to be like, man, these men ain't shit. Only men I know that's good is my daddy and my granddaddy. They don't even say that shit no more. They were like, oh, my grandma told me my granddaddy wasn't shit. So it's like kind of find out grandma was a lot of grandmas was bitches too and just messing up the whole family unit as soon as they got a chance. So they wait the granddaddy to die and then just start shitting on the man grave. Let's go straight out there and piss on the man damn grave. And I think it's because grandparents are getting a lot younger too. I think that's what's really fucking up things. Grandparents are getting a lot younger, so they really fucking it up for so the kids. Grandma shit. Matter of fact, my bad. Great grandmas are like 50, 60, And grandmas nowadays is like 30 something. You know what I'm saying? Like you got grandmas out here that's like 30 something. So I think that's where the disconnect is coming from, is because the generations keep getting younger. At a time where grandma and granddaddy, when they children finally had some kids, they was married and they 20s, they was and grandparents was pushing 60 or something like that. So by the time the grandkids get older, granddad and them 70 something and something like that, 20 something years later. So, but now the great grandma and great granddaddy is 50 and the grandma and granddaddy is fucking 34, 35, some shit like that. What you think, H? If you still there, do I need to call in somebody else, motherfucker? You still there? Y'all please excuse my my co-host. I don't know what the hell that happened to him. Let me see what's going on. Y'all hold on real quick. Let me see. Like you might have popped out the damn system. Go ahead. Call back in, man. I don't know what you got going on, G. Go ahead and pop back in. Do I have to put you back in? Okay, there we go. There you go. Where you been at, boy?
Yeah, man, my bad. I had the technical difficulties, got out, kicked out of the room.
Anyways, but yeah, like I was saying, man, since the generations have got so young, the grandparents got so young, like the great grandparents are now in their 50s and 60s. Great grandparents. Grandparents, you know what I'm saying, go down to 35. I think that's another issue. You got young heifers and dudes, young niggas that's fucking 35, that's fucking grandparents now. And the great grandparents is like 50, 60 now. So I think maybe that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you got grandparents now that's listening to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. So what you think about that? Do you think that's part of why they might be, what I'm saying, so many women coming up now hating men and talking about some doing stuff for men?
Yeah, and I think that that portion that we always talk about is going to be lost. Because if you think about it, where, why would it go backwards? None of the, as you said, you got grandmas listening to Cardi B. Um, I know some women personally who are in their 50s, think they still in their 20s. They got kids in college listening to this type of music, wanting to be on Instagram, wanting to be shaking their butt, and they married. And if the people who are in their 50s and 60s are doing that, just think of these young girls now who are in college, who 19, 20. They're going to be having children within the next 5 to 10 years. And that's going to be their mother. The girls who are 19, 20, just getting out of high school, going into college, or who are in college right now, who are listening to this stuff, who are taking the advice of these people who are saying cancel out cater2u, who are listening to people like Meg the horse, saying thought of the year or the new whatever the fuck her song is, the new thought, the big thought. I don't know. She celebrated being a thought hoe, and those are the women that are going to be having kids within the next 5 to 10 years, as I said, and then that's what they're going to pass on to these young kids. So it's kind of like a doomsday thing for the next generation because they're not going to grow up how we grew up with older women who dressed a certain way, who wanted to talk a certain way, who wanted to present themselves a certain way to be respected, to be wanting to look respectful, to talk respectful. The women that we know who didn't want to be all out in public, cussing, using foul language, having their body parts all hanging out, not wanting to be known to have slept with 20 men, in their lifetime, not wanting to be known as the person who slept with this person and that person and that person. They didn't want to be looked upon that way. They wanted to be looked upon as a respectable woman, as a woman that's married, as a woman that was in a house that was presenting themselves as a woman. The next generation, when they look up to their mother, they're gonna see their mother wearing outfits with the titties hanging out, with the ass hanging out. They're gonna look at their mother on Instagram doing dick sucking contests. and listening to certain music. So that's gonna be their role model. That's who they're gonna pattern themselves after. They can say, "Oh, I don't want my kids listening to that." Or it's everywhere now, and they're gonna see you doing it. So the child is gonna want to be like you. They're gonna want to pattern themselves like you, even though you're gonna say, "Don't be like me, don't do like me." You're showing them, you're giving them the visual. They're seeing it with their own eyes, and they're gonna think, "Well, my mom is doing it. I love my mom. I look up to my mom, so I want to be like her. I want to dress like her. I want to talk like her. I want to curse like her. I want to chase after men like her." So that's what this next generation is going to see and going to want to follow and be like. So they don't have that example because those women, excuse me for saying this, they're going to be dead and gone. You know, the aunties and the grandmas that could give them a talking to or that could give them the right way, they're gonna be dead and gone, or they're too old. They're gonna be like in their 70s. They're gonna, see grandma, great grandma in their 70s. They ain't gonna want to listen to that. Grandma in her 70s, she's in there sweeping in the kitchen, humming. They ain't gonna want to be and listen to grandma. They're gonna look at the woman that's shaking the ass because that's fun, because that's getting them likes on Facebooks, that's getting them retweets, that's getting them hearts and shit on Instagram. They're not gonna want to listen to grandma. That's my take on that.
Man, you right about that, G. Because the sad thing is, nowadays, I need to say dick throat challenge. But nowadays it's like the bad part about it, man. So many we gonna segue into the last point of tonight. So the sad fucked up thing about it is, let's go. Let me go ahead and pull this up because this is what they try to make it seem like it's all gravy about nowadays. So the sad thing is now, right? We think it's okay that, with the modern woman, her education, what I'm saying, her job or career, what I'm saying, got her own little car, got her own little spot. But the sad thing about it is, are these modern women really 304s? And you already know what I'm talking about, them thoughts. You already know what I mean when I say 304s. Them damn thoughts. Nowadays they thoughts, man. Because they taught, you can take your time. You don't have to worrying about no kids. You don't have to worry about getting married, none of that. Just go out there, live your best life, do your thing, do you. You know what I'm saying? You can do it later on in life. If you want to have kids later on, you get older, freeze your eggs. Have a surrogate mother to carry your eggs for you, and you still can have your children. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna always be beautiful. You're gonna always be fine. You're gonna always have time to find a man out there. But what they don't tell these 304s, you know what I'm saying, is when you want to find the right man, you're actually becoming 304 repellent. The guy does not want to deal with no older 50 something year old woman that thinks she's still fine and she got crow's feet around her eyeballs, her neck looking like turkey meat, hanging like a turkey. Ain't gonna want that. Your ass sagging. You got, you know what I'm saying? Even when you try to shave your legs, you got them damn hair bumps on your kneecaps. They ain't telling the women that, look, as you get older, it's gonna be a new model car on the showroom floor every day. It's gonna be a new model car on the showroom floor every day. That's gonna be your competition. And you gotta understand something, guys. We can't help it. That's just how we're naturally wired. That we want to look at it, something nice and pretty, something more firm, some more a little sweet. I'm gonna tell you, I went to the store earlier. This young lady, now, I'm sorry to say it, but at first, the way she was talking proper, she was a young sister. I like, I don't know. The way she was talking to white people, she was like, yes, yes, yes. And I'm like, yeah, I've been here like a year and a half. And I was like, she one of them sisters. So I walk up. She like, how you doing? I'm like, all right. So I go to look down to go ahead and pay for my stuff. Then she like, I like your hair. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. So she surprised me. Like she shocked me. She was just like, I'm trying to, I would like to twist mine like you got yours and stuff. I was like, well, so I gotta retwist it and stuff like that. She was like, oh, because you having like new girl, your hair growing out. I was like, yes, I gotta redo it. And she would ask me because she's like, yeah, I'm trying to do this and she young and nice. Now imagine a woman around our age. How you doing? You want paper? Or you want plastic? You like, bitch, what you mad? What you mad about? So they try to get the young ladies to be more bitter bitches, and then they teaching them how to be fucking hoes. So in my opinion, the new modern woman way of life is to be a hoe. From my understanding, they've been doing studies recently. I forget the name of the college, but it was a college that did a study recently, and they've been doing online studies. Come to find out, at least 50% of women that reply out of thousands of women said that they keep some backup. They always got a plan just in case their relationship don't work. They got a dude on call that can go ahead and come fill in that last joker spot.
Now,
You know what I'm
just
saying? If it
imagine
don't
if
work
a
out.
man was. Just imagine if men were to say that. Just imagine if a man was to be like, "Yeah, I always got somebody on the back burner." Why
Mm.
is it okay for women to say that shit and it's cool and laugh and jokes and ha ha ha, but men are dogs. Men ain't shit. Men the ones that's
Because they
fucking
want to
up.
be like us. Remember, we get away with everything. Remember, apparently, we just get away with. But see, this. But who fault is this? This is what women also don't think in the modern world that make them like the modern woman ideal is to be a liberated woman, but it's really you being a 304 because men don't get away with everything they want. But the problem is a lot of women like the guys that a lot of women like. They want to see what it is. Like if anybody ever seen Boomerang, we probably got to do like a movie on old school movies that me and my partner HD come back and talk about if we recently seen them again and be like, oh, I didn't realize that bitch did some trifling shit. But in Boomerang, if y'all never see it, go back and see it. Spoiler alert. So when Eddie Murphy's character Marcus was dealing with Robin Givens' character. I forget what that weed bitch wearing bitch name was on that. I forget. Jacqueline. All right. So when Marcus was dealing with Jacqueline, you know what I'm saying? Eddie character was trying to knock her down since the first day she came in. She became his new boss. He thought he was gonna be the boss, but he didn't become the boss. So he finally, got the draws or whatever. And their other co-character, Holly Berry, I forget her name, but Holly Berry's character was working with Robin Gibbons' character one day, and then some kind of way they ended up talking about them fucking. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I can confirm. He deserves his reputation." She was like, "Oh, you can confirm it?" Like she really wanted to find out what it was about. So guess what? After they break up, guess who end up fucking Eddie Murphy character now? Holly Berry's character.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the modern 304s do now. They stab each other in the back. They want to see what it's like. That's why you got so many women
Exactly.
that's around here sleeping with their homegirls, dude or husband, because they want to see
Mm-hmm.
what it's like. That's why quote unquote men get away with shit. Really, they don't, because women will go after the guy that all the women got and then be sit up there mad that you know what I'm saying that the guys it's not that he get away, it's the women that's permitting it. It's the women that condone it. It's the women that promote it. You want to go after you don't women are the ones that say I don't nobody want to do that don't nobody no other woman want. So guess what that means? You go with a dude and
What
he got
kind of
all these
logic is
bitches.
that? What kind of logic is that?
That's
That's
the way
the
they think.
dumbest logic I've ever heard.
But that's one of the things that these bitches do, these 304s do, modern 304s do. And then they still want to blame it on men. But it's like, yo, look how you living your life. So H, in your opinion, what is the whole shit that these modern females do that make you be like, damn, man, these women are definitely so different from mom's generation or grandma's generation. Like not the grandmas that's 50 now and the great grandmas that's 50 and the grandma that's 35, but I'm talking about grandmama that's about 70 and I mean 60, 70 and grandma that was like 90,
I
something
mean,
like that.
if
The
you
old
ask
school
me,
baby boomer age.
if you asking me what, I mean, we're gonna be here all night. It's
No,
what
I'm
that
saying one or two
they don't
things
do.
that yeah, one or two things that really bother you that the modern 304s do.
I mean, I can just speak to a situation I was just in. You dealing with somebody that's that. Having someone on the back burner, whatever. You break up with somebody, as soon as you break up with them, they running back to their ex to holler at them, to talk to them, to see what's going on, and then lie about it. Why lie? Why you gotta lie about it? And then once again, if a man does that, he's looked at as a piece of shit or he ain't nothing. But these women will do that. There's always another dude, as you just pointed out, that's in the back of their head or that they got waiting on standby or that they're gonna run back to as soon as any little small thing happen with the dude that they dealing with. And that's not loyalty. That's not. They may think that, oh well, I'm doing something that is the right thing to do. You're not. And then also the thing that bothers me the most, besides that little deceiving shit I just said, is that the painting of the picture. That's what bothers me the most. The painting of the picture that all black men ain't shit. All black men leave their families. All black men don't take care of their kids. All black men cheat. All black men walk around with their pants hanging off their ass. It's the picture that's painted because it's like, why would you want to have something like that portrayed about your black men, about your brothers? It's like you want the black man destruction to happen as much as white people do because the excuse me, I won't say black women, these black bitches, they paint the picture just as much as white people do, if not more,
Right,
on
right.
TV, on blogs, on radio shows, on podcasts, on whatever they can, on Facebook. They paint this picture of men in a certain light, and it makes once again this younger generation is gonna see that. Who knows? That could cause some of these little young black girls that's 19, 20 to not even want to date a black man. That they say, oh, I only gonna date white men because black men ain't shit. If I get with a black dude and get pregnant, he ain't gonna never come see our child. So I think that's what I hate the most. The picture that gets painted by these black bitches about black men. We're supposed to be your brothers. If people are tired of hearing that word, I don't give a shit. We're supposed to be your brothers. Even if you not in no relationship with us or if you not fucking with us like that, in a relationship type way, you still shouldn't want to paint that picture that way of black men and for that word to keep spreading around and around and around. Not just for the younger generation, for older, for women who are in their 30s and 40s who maybe still have hope that they can find love or that they can find companionship. They keep getting this picture painted, and it's this, like you and I talked about earlier, about women who have degrees or women who have a certain amount of money or whatever. They're the ones that these women will listen to, and they're getting this pushed into their head and they're believing it. So even the women in 30s and 40s, they're gonna think, oh, I gotta run to a white man because if I get with a black dude, he ain't gonna treat me right. He gonna cheat on me. He gonna dog me. He gonna try to use me for my money. He ain't never gonna have a job. The list goes on and on of all the things that they say and portray about black men that are just not fucking true. It's just not. So that's what bothers me the most. That picture that gets painted.
I want to go back to that when what you said because that's a good point you brought. With a lot of and my brothers, we gonna talk about that too. We gonna make a show about both sides of stupid shit. But with a lot of these females being dumb, I've heard videos where they got the swirler chicks that deal with different races sit there and say that even they'll say, oh, black man, they gonna have all these black bastard babies around here, they ain't shit, they don't work, they don't do this, they don't take care of bills. But then when they start talking about other races, especially white men, guess what? One thing they always say, you got to vet to make sure you don't run into one that just doing like some jungle fever shit or just fucking with you as a dare or thinking that you beneath him because you're a black woman. Now, how does that make sense? When you date outside your race, you have to deal with the bad stigma of you weave, loud, obnoxious, violent, wear sandals, you're dirty, you just only good for sex, knocking out a bunch of babies and a bunch of Section 8 and stuff like that. So they always say that everyone black woman that I see that had on swirler channels, that's one of the main number one things they say with dating white men you have to be careful about. So you mean to tell me you shit on your own black man so bad that you're willing to go to the oppressor but you still have to worry about him treating you a certain way. Remember, we talked about that one piece of shit cracker that was playing for the Patriots and beat the shit out of his fiance or his wife or whatever. So that's a perfect example of what a lot of black women go through when they go to that side and doing that dumb shit, and then you brainwashing our sisters. So I think that's another problem with the modern 304 is the fact that they like, oh, you can be liberated, you can this, you can do that. But they always talk about why, men, especially black men, oh, black men date out their race and all that, but they never talk about the two main points. One thing brothers always say, the black woman's attitude. They just tired of it. They want somebody a little more nicer, submissive. And then the number one thing we used to hear that we didn't want to hear. But respectfully, it's like now, okay, well, if y'all going there, let's at least tell the truth about what brother's saying. That one of the biggest things that they say, a lot of sisters, they own sisters weren't even checking for them when they was growing up. It was always the white girl, the Asian girl, something else. Like I was corny, I was lame, I didn't dress this way. I like playing chess. I was part of the chess team and debate team and all that. So these are the only women that would chat for me. But they never talk about that stuff. They never really want to talk about that. Cause you know how we are. We ain't about that type of shit. But at the same time, it's like, all right, so if y'all gonna say that, don't make it seem like black man just jump out here. Hey, I need me a snow bunny. Where me a white bitch at? It ain't just that. It's those are two biggest arguments that we always heard growing up, and we always talked about that. So I think nowadays, man, if you want to be a 304, go ahead, be a 304 in these modern days of times, but don't get mad at the outcome. Be willing to deal with your damn outcomes. Simple as that. All right, so we've been in here running our mouths long enough. You know what I'm saying? Been about 46 minutes or so. So we'll be back, you know what I'm saying, about around the same time, about 11 o'clock, 11:30. We start when we start.
And
But
we're gonna try to also, not to cut you off, homie, to get y'all some visuals. You know, this next time we run this show, or maybe in the next show or two, we're gonna be letting y'all see our motherfucking face, so you can put a face to the voice, and we're gonna be doing this live so you can see. That's how we gonna be bringing it.
yeah. So if it ain't the next show that we have everything set up so we can, do the face show our faces or whatever, at least we'll have some video or something like that for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to set it up. I'm messing with this in case anybody ever did mess with Restream before or not. You got Restream, StreamYard. But I'm kind of liking this Restream a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Because I can share the screen and stuff like that. It's not so difficult. So I'm kind of liking this better. Maybe we'll do this again next time. And, God willing, next time we'll have a video with it at least. So hope y'all enjoyed the show. You know what I'm saying? For all the people that come and watch the replay, we appreciate you. Make sure you hit them thumbs up. I ain't been saying it lately because I'm still pissed off at YouTube. But show us a little love and leave your comments. At least, give us some interaction. You know what I'm saying? We just going to work on getting our show better. God bless it to grow or whatever, cool. If not, we're gonna at least just work on getting better. All right. So
Right.
this your boy JTL. Say goodbye to the people, HD.
It's HD. Watch out for them shots. We out.
Them shot. What the fuck are you talking about with them shot? Y'all excuse me. I don't know what the fuck you talking about with no shots. But we
They'll
out here.
see soon enough.